Well, good afternoon, viewers. Today we have a 2011 Dodge Ram 1500 4x4. It's a crew cab by the looks of it. It's here for a couple of problems. One complaint is several warning lights on. We have ABS, tire pressure monitor, service four-wheel drive, and the traction control, stability control light over on the right on. But the customer also states that the battery goes dead if they leave it sitting for 2 or 3 days. And they have been routinely disconnecting the negative battery cable, so chances are some monitors won't have run and passed because I take it that they've been disconnecting the battery and reconnecting the battery. So these codes should be fairly current. So we're going to scan it now and see what codes it's setting. I doubt the parasitic draw is related to the problem, but we'll see. So we're going to do a network code scan here. I've ID'd the vehicle already. Pre-scan and see what kind of codes it's generating. Well, there we go. Implausible right wheel distance sensor signal received. So it probably needs a wheel speed sensor or a right wheel bearing. Right wheel speed. Implausible right wheel. It doesn't say right front, but here it says right rear. Right rear. Additional CAN ECU detected, ECU recovery reset, lost communication with master power window switch, implausible data from ABS, implausible data from IPM, front control module, totally integrated power module, and tire pressure monitor. Well, they've had the battery connected for a while, all the monitors have run and passed. Well, let's do a network code clear. I've got a recording of these codes. Now I have to shut it off and turn the key on. So I'll pause the recording. So key on, engine off. We're going to code clear, do a network code clear. And then we'll cycle the key and see if that rear wheel speed sensor signal comes back. Seems to be pretty current. Let's see, that should be just about it. It says it cleared all the codes. So let's go into the ABS system and check it for codes. And that code came back, right rear wheel speed sensor circuit. So we're going to have to put this up on the hoist and have a visual, do a visual inspection of the wiring to the right rear speed sensor, and maybe we'll get lucky and find some broken wires. So I'm going to check this for a parasitic draw. I've wired a disconnect switch in between the battery negative post and the battery cable, and I've got the switch on right now. I've started the vehicle and then shut it off. Took the key out of the ignition and closed the door, unplugged the scan tool, and now when I turn the disconnect switch off and open the circuit, the ammeter will be placed in series in the circuit. So we have a parasitic draw of 1.5 amps. Now we do have a underhood light on. I'm going to change the resolution here. So we got 1.5 amps. Oh, it just spiked up there. 4.5 amps. That could be an evap test running or something like that. I'm going to disable the hood light. I wonder if it's got a switch in this latch here, or if that's a mercury switch in the... Well, I'm going to disable the hood light and make sure that that's not causing a draw. So I partially closed the hood and the parasitic draw has dropped down to 570 milliamps, 0.57 amps. Change the resolution now again to 1 amp. And it's 565 milliamps. So I'm going to let it sit here now. I've got fairly charged battery in this. I'll let it sit here for a half an hour while I do something else and see if this draw goes away. So after about 10 minutes we're down to 137 milliamps. I'd like to see it less than 40 or 50, preferably less than 10, but usually the spec is no more than 50 milliamps. 137 milliamps is comparable to a 194 side marker bulb or the control side of a relay. Now I did notice, I got the driver's door window open, that the display on the dash, this driver information center, is lit up, or it appears to be. If I cover it with a rag, it is definitely lit up. So of course it's only been 10 minutes, so we're going to wait 30 minutes. So at about 15 minutes in, the current spiked up well over an amp, and then it dropped back down. Now it's dropped down to 14 milliamps. Obviously the computer is going through some self-check. It could be testing the canister and evap system, but down to 14 milliamps, 0.014 is 14 milliamps, is not a cause for concern. Let's see if that dash illumination is out. It is out now. Interesting. So there's no parasitic draw now. I can't explain why the battery's going dead, unless it's got a shorted cell in the battery, but then a battery should go dead by itself even if it's disconnected if the cell is shorted. Well, we're going to continue with the diagnostics on the ABS system. So we're looking underneath this RAM, and it was the right rear. Definitely looks like it's been pummeled by stones. This looks a little suspicious. Looks like it's been repaired here. Very sketchy. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Well, somebody's fixed this one time before. Let's see what we can do with this. So there's the connector disassembled. The wires broke off right at the back of the terminals. Make sure you take a picture of the connector polarity. I took a picture of it so that I can get this back. Now I'm going to see if I have another pigtail. I think I might have an ignition coil pigtail for one of these Dodge trucks, and I think it uses the same series of terminals, so I'll see if I can salvage a couple of wires out of it. There's a little plastic reinforcement that's supposed to keep the wires from breaking, but that was obviously broken. Well, there's the connector repaired with two terminals from the, I guess it was an ignition coil connector that I salvaged. So I've got enough wire to splice here, and it just so happens they're the same color wires, or at least green and white, and I observed the correct polarity, I believe. So we'll splice these two wires together and secure this. So I use these solderable sleeves and heat shrink. There's the connector repaired, the wire secured. I looped the wire and tied it around the connector so that these wires don't flex and vibrate. And let's clear the code and see if it is working now. So let's go into this thing now. Key is on, scanner's hooked up. Display fitted systems, anti-lock brakes, clear codes, yes. I heard it go through the self-test. Codes, no codes present. Let's look at the wheel speed signals. Okay, rear left, front left, front right, Where's rear right? Is it on this side? Why do they have 3 on one side of the scan tool and 1 on the left? So I'm going to go turn the rear wheels. So we're interested in this one working here. Of course, if I turn one wheel, it should turn both. Yeah. Both rear speed sensors are working. Let's try the front. That's left front. Let's try right front. Okay, so we got 4 speed signals. I'm sure this is going to be okay now. Maybe I'll just do a network code clear. Let's read the codes from the ABS one more time. Good, no codes. And let's do a network code clear because I'm sure it's set codes in the 4-wheel drive module again. So I'll clear all codes from all controllers, go for a road test. I'm pretty sure this one's going to be repaired. Thanks for watching.